I came home from work one day. This was during the first go round of Trump. It was told that because I voted for him, I was personally responsible for all the children on the border who had passed away.
Retarded.
And I walked into this hellfire. I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
You're just taken back. You're like, what?
Yeah, nice try.
Yep, they're out there.
You're not with that gal anymore?
Nope.
Good. Onwards and upwards, my friend. All right, thanks for popping in, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, you want to throw Andy in, and then we'll do the next one?
Yeah. Andy, what's up, bro?
Hey, just wanted to chime in on the topic. I wanted to give an example of feminist and my experience with it. So I originally came to the U.S. in the late 90s as a student from Ukraine. And, we had to do the gen eds and this and that in college. And one of them was women's studies. And, being a curious young man, obviously I was sort of interested. Well, what sorts of issues do women deal in the USA? How is it different maybe from some of the things that I have observed growing up and my family or society, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I unfortunately take that class. So here's what we get for a professor. First of all, it's not a professor. It's, adjuncts. They find kind of people off the street. They call them an instructor, and they teach you things, supposedly. So this one was, how do I describe her? Sort of a they, them looking lady, kind of a butch, sort of overweight, short hair, wearing like jeans overalls. She came into the class, and it was mostly ladies and like 2 or 3 dudes. Poor guys, poor saps. I don't know what the hell we're doing there. Anything else, badminton would have been better. But anyway, or whatever from that section of gen eds. So she would sit. So she would sit on the desk. She didn't sit in the chair or stand or whatever. She would just plop herself on the desk and start talking about how men are bad. Like literally every class, that's what it was. She talked about how she worked as a trucker and how other truckers made fun of her for being a lesbian or whatever. And I'm like, it's not about being a lesbian, lady. You don't know how to dress. You look like a man. Like she had these eyebrows. One of them, they look bigger than freaking like, I don't know, Mario's mustaches, and one was bigger than the other. So she didn't take care of herself. And all of her stories were like her suffering in the hands of all these men and this and that and this and that. And honestly, I can tell you that it was a complete waste of money. And I legit wanted to learn something. I learned absolutely nothing. And I got a B in that class, probably for being a white man or something like that. I didn't realize it at the time, and it ruined my GPA. And that was my story of like learning about feminism back in the day. And this was turn of the century or whatever, but not much has changed. It's just gotten worse. However, I think like in today's society, they're all so unhinged that it's easier to spot a crazy. You know what I mean? The pink hairs, the bull nose rings, and the tattoos and the whatnots. So in some ways, they're doing us in a way a favor by making it a little bit easier to just like look down, look away, walk away, and not get involved with the crowd. And then hey, later on in life, I like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was kind of a simp or whatever, just your regular dude, looking for a lady. And so then I wifed up a single mom later on who was a redhead and like far out on the freaking hot, crazy matrix, like Amber Heard levels. I didn't know any of that. I was a chameleon. 6 months into the marriage, the real lady came out and it was like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that was kind of the story and a couple of examples. I don't really want to go ahead.
No, that's good, man. Thanks for chiming in and sharing that that educational story on feminism in school. It's the same today. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let's go to a third one, which is The Unhappy and Unlucky. I don't even need to read it. It's actually it's one of the 48 Laws of Power from Robert Greene. I mean, I kind of expanded
number 10, I believe. More.
Yeah. You're gonna run into women that are always FML. I don't know if you've ever seen that acronym with women, but it just stands for fuck my life, right? And it's like nothing goes their way. somebody's always making their life difficult. You know, the weather's not good enough, whatever, politics, something. It's like they're never pleasant, they're never happy. And it's like, I don't know if you ever remember like the Peanuts cartoons when you were a kid, Moff.
Yeah, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, Charlie Brown. But there was that one guy, was it Linus with a cloud over him? Wah, wah, wah.
Linus was the blanket carrier.
The blanket carrier, but there was one kid with a cloud over him, right?
You talking about Pigpen, the dirty kid? I don't remember the cloud, but I know what you're talking about. Like, you could talk about Eeyore too from Winnie the Pooh. Like that was always
Eeyore. Yeah, don't be a fucking
negative
Eeyore
guy.
Yeah. Do not. You know, life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, you know, an interesting, captivating journey. And again, you know, this brings it back to the selection process. So, you know, for all those people out there that have told you, oh, you can't vet for red flags, it doesn't work, you know, she can be a chameleon. Sure, but not over a prolonged period of time. She's going to tell on herself if you give her a year or two to like vet. The problem is most guys, I don't know if it was Andy, you know, was one of those guys, but he wifed up a single mom 6 months in, sort of thing. And it's like, you know, most guys, the first opportunity that they get with a gal that is responsive to them, is intimate with them, they'll just sign up right away. And it's like, you have to take the time, see what they're all about. What's their family like? How do they respond to stress? What happens when you travel and the luggage gets lost? Do they lose their shit and yell at the fucking airline, or they just say, let's go get some bathing suits and we'll call it a day. Weather's going to be hot all week. Who cares? We'll figure it out later. Right? Like, you want to see what she's made of. So you want to stay. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.